Margaret. Obviously last week HMV and the Old Darnley Lodge in Athboy closed. I went out to the Old Darnley Lodge in Athboy and I sat in with the workers while they were involved in their sit-in last Thursday and last Friday. And I spoke with the workers in depth in that situation, and they're devastated with what's happened. Holiday pay is owed, some staff have wages still outstanding, and they're not confident what's going to happen with regards redundancy. And the management have gone to ground, and disgracefully they haven't been in contact at all with the workers. And right now, as we speak here today, the staff are still sitting in Athboy at the moment. I understand, you mentioned solvency there, Minister, a while ago. I understand that the company itself hasn't paid rent in 2 years, that hasn't paid rates, hasn't paid water rates as such. So that would indicate that solvency is definitely not involved in this regard. Athboy is a town like many other in Middle Ireland that have lost serious jobs over the last number of years with little or no government response. And it seems to me that if HMV or if the Old Darnley Lodge was the Old Darnley Bank, the government would be in-like-flynn and they'd be trying to resolve the situation. And last year I brought about legislation that would have expedited the process of where workers find themselves now and having their full rights vindicated. And it would also ensure that it wouldn't have to wait to liquidation to make sure that redundancy was paid, that once the company was seen to be insolvent, redundancy will be paid. But you and your government refused that legislation, and as a result, the workers are actually in that position of sitting in today.
Thank you, Deputy.
And if they're sitting in today to find their rights, how can you say that you are protecting their rights, Minister?
It's a completely different question than the question you've asked, but regards to the enterprise and business, and obviously, as Minister Bruton correctly said, it's very difficult to get into private enterprise. You know, these are, and there are the protections of their PRSI, and they will get the benefits. I took a private member's question on this last week. They will get the statutory redundancy from the state. I think that it is regrettable that they have to sit in. Obviously, this company has closed, and the owners they're not there to contact. It was very hard to legislate for that situation because we all know the difficulty, I suppose, in the both examples that you alluded to, HMV and the hotel trader too. Both of them are very difficult. They're changing trades, and obviously the difficulty this government has created substantial jobs in the area of innovation and enterprise, and the enterprise offices and all over the innovation hub and the pharmaceutical end. But clearly the legacy of the last government and with the massive amount of retailing space was all over and equally the propellant and the number of hotels that were development has caused serious difficulties right around the region. I think clearly the fact of it is regrettable that people are sitting in currently, but I've no doubt that they will get their statutory entitlement from their PRSI contributions that are paid in. It is regrettable that they have to go that avenue.
Well, Tóibín.
Just with regards to HMV, and it's obviously that their product offering is meeting technological changes, which is making them less competitive. But it must remember that HMV are still operating in England as such, and it is believed that upward-only rents has had an effect over their ability to trade. And it's interesting that another trader, John Corcoran, was forced to close because of upward-only rents a couple of weeks ago, after a long campaign and a long fight. And indeed, the Labour Party held a press conference in his store, which launched their campaign for the resolving of the upward-only rents. But obviously, when they came into government, they said it couldn't be done. They said that it would need a constitutional amendment. Now, you know, retail business and ourselves have seen legal advice to say the opposite. If you do say that it needs a constitutional amendment, why don't you put a constitutional amendment out there? Why don't you actually change the Constitution? If you believe that you should get rid of upward-only rents, Minister, why don't you change the Constitution?
Thank you,
now, we hear today that there may be a need for a constitutional amendment with regards EU patents, etc. That would be a prime opportunity for you to include a constitutional amendment on upward-only rents to ensure that this extremely anti-competitive cost is reduced. Remember, Grattan Street is one of the most expensive streets in the world, and every other street in Ireland is a function of that. it would be a massive plus to the competitiveness of retail businesses
Thank you,
if you lived up to your
Minister,
pre-election
State,
promises on
final
this.
reply on this.
Just with regards to HMV, it is an examinership in the UK, and I think there is a takeover bid in the UK currently that it is in receivership here. That's the difference. But I'm quite certain that obviously that hopefully that a buyer will be bought to salvage some of the business. But equally on the issue of upward only rents, it's very clear what the advice given by the Attorney General. The advice is given by the Attorney General, but even if you look at the rents at the moment, and you know better from your own constituency, but when you look at the issue of rents and the affordability of rents at the moment, currently rents have dropped regardless of the upper only rents, because if you look at it, I said it time and time again here, there's 13,000 square foot per head of population in Ireland for retail area compared to 1,000 in the UK, and that was the legacy of the last government as well. I think the point is this: at the moment, rents.
We just let the Minister finish.
Referendum is necessary, and you believe it went wrong.
That's only one aspect of the problem, because you must remember it is about confidence and credit in the economy. I think with the doom and gloom that you're professing, all the time, you never recognise the opportunities. I'm visiting companies right around the country that jobs are being created. You're coming in here, Deputy Tóibín, with the same pessimistic outlook all of the time. I think there is opportunity in the retail trades, and there are businesses who are very successful at the moment. They're not all closing. But I think clearly at the moment you have to look at the positivity in the market, and you must look at the opportunity that's out there at the moment, and the great challenges that are in the economy. And I was out in the RDS this week at listen to this, at the Class Fair. I was at the Class Fair. Did you attend the Class Fair this week?
All right, good.
The question I'm asking, there's jobs being created on the RDS in the Class Fair, and there's great opportunities in the retail trades, and regardless.
Yeah. Now, please, we're going to have to move on.
It's not necessary.
Minister,
unnecessary. Because it's not the issue that's closing down businesses at the
Mr.
moment.
Perry, we're moving on to other questions.